Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am the one and only, the true and living legend, Honcho J23, coming to you live with another very special edition of Independent Scene Podcast. I want to thank all of my viewers for joining me today on today's podcast. It's going to be dope like none other. Y'all already know how the game go. Y'all already know how I roll. Today we got a dope guest in the building. He's a super dope DJ. He's been one of my personal favorite DJs of all time, and he's in the building. He goes by the name of DJ Wade Banner. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the show popping. Let's go ahead and get lit. The homie is in the building. DJ Wade Banner, let's get it. Bro, what's good, my boy?
What's good? How you?
Coolin', man. How you been, man?
Man, I can't complain. Just hustle.
Hey, I feel that, man. It's been a long time. It's been a long time no see. I see you've been on the move as of late.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Always, man. Never stay still.
Hey, that's what it's about, right? But real quick, for all the people that don't know you, go ahead, introduce yourself, man. Let the people know who you is, my bro.
What up? DJ Wade Banner, Black Bottle Boys, MP3 Wax, mixtape DJ, club DJ, private event DJ. Like, I'm just an all around DJ, and I'm dope.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely, man. So last time we talked, man, you had a lot going on, but give us an update. What's been going on with Wade Banner since the last time we talked?
Since the last time we talked, I'm still doing everything I was doing, but I've started to kind of niche down on my business more and do the things business-wise that make the most sense for me and the way I want to live my life. Like, of course, I'm getting older, so now I start to look at the DJ business different than I did before. Like, before I was in the clubs a lot. I was, doing just a lot of events that I think were cool for the age that I was then, but now who I am, I think is a little bit different. So now, like, I've kind of changed up my entire process of how I choose my events.
Okay. So the first question I want to kind of get into, and by the way, appreciate you for speaking on that. But my first thing I want to kind of get into is when it comes to being a DJ, like, what keeps you driven to the drive and the passion of DJing? Like, what's your passion behind it?
It's easy. I like the DJ. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you find something that you want to do, you got to do the thing that you would do for free. And I mean, that don't mean I'm going to do it for free, but, it's the thing that
right.
that I just love to do. So it just, everything else fizzles out because if it's not what you're passionate about, eventually at some point it's all about the dollar, and eventually the dollar don't mean nothing to you no more and you stop doing it. But DJing is not that for me. So that's why it's just been so easy to just stay passionate about always staying on the grind.
Okay. So let me ask you this: as a DJ, what do you think are the fundamentals that a DJ must have in order to succeed out here in this business?
The first thing is you gotta be your own person and have your own style. Because I know a lot of DJs, like, you get taught to DJ by another DJ, and when that happens, you like to do what you see them doing, but you gotta realize, like, what's gonna make you special is doing what you do. And so that's probably the first thing is, like, learn the craft of DJing, but then learn how to incorporate your own style to it and be your own person, because that's what's going to take you further ahead.
Okay. So now, also, what type of equipment do you feel like DJs must have in order to be able to set the stage and set the crowd, you know what I'm saying, the way it needs to go?
It just really depends on who you are as a person and what you like, what your preference is. I don't really get into you got to be on a certain type of turntables or any of that, because I mean, when I started on Technics 1200s. That wasn't even the thing to do no more. Like, at that point, like, I came in about 2012, so at that point, like, I mean, the CDJs, it might have been a controller at that point. Yeah, I think like the NS7 might have been around back then. But I came in on the Techniques, and that's always been my preference, is the Technique. Okay. But man, it was the legendary DJ SNS Legend, and he's the one that's like, man, I got this SB3, like we DJ'd the club one time. I had my techniques. He had his SB3. He got in and out. At the end of the night, we done got paid, but I'm still packing up my equipment. So, I went and got myself an SB3 too. So sometimes I do the technique, sometimes I do the controller.
Okay, okay. So speaking of that, and you just spoke on it, when it comes to, putting together your equipment and taking down your equipment, how long does it usually take you to put all that stuff together and then take it all back down?
It just depends on like how I feel. If it's been a long night, like if I've been in the club, it's 3 in the morning, boy. So I'm gonna take my time. It might take me 30 minutes.
Okay.
But I mean, like a setup for real could be 5 to 10 minutes. But if I'm doing like, let's say it's a wedding, then it's probably gonna be about 20 to 30 minutes because there's a lot more that you setting up. You setting up lights. You might be setting up a soundboard. So it just really depends on exactly what you're DJing and how you feeling in that moment. Like I might be on the phone while I'm setting up. So
Okay,
that's
okay.
how.
Now let me ask you this: now, do you find it hard, trying to multitask, as far as DJing, like you said, being on the phone and being able to, stay in contact with people? Like, do you find that to be a bit of an issue for you, or are you usually able to manage that?
Nah, it's never an issue. But the reason it's never an issue is because when it's time for me to focus, I focus. So like I might come in and I might be on the phone while I'm setting up. But when it's time to DJ and to perform, because you're performing, stay off the phone. Like what I mean. Like you ain't gonna see Drake do a concert and be like, "Yo, hold on, y'all," and take a phone call. It just
Right, right, right.
happens. So like I stay focused on the task at hand, especially being paid for it. So.
Right, right. Now let me ask you this because I'm sure you've done this. I'm pretty sure multiple times. But whenever you're DJing wedding events, how do you get yourself in the zone in the get yourself prepared for stuff like for big events like that? How do you get yourself mentally prepared for that?
So the first preparation comes from just being prepared in life. Like, whenever I go and I do an event, whatever kind of event I'm doing, whatever kind of music I'm playing, more likely it's a music that I've listened to for a long time. Like I'm engrossed in the culture. So like it's there's no real preparation that has to be done in that aspect. But then, what I'll do, like wherever I'm getting ready to go, I listen to the exact opposite. So if I'm about to do a wedding and at this wedding I'm playing a lot of R&B songs and stuff like that, I'm gonna trap it out on the way. Or if I'm going to the club and I know like, man, it's gonna be a lot of trapping, a lot of twerking, a lot of high energy, well, I play like love songs, Quiet Storm on the way. Like I reset my mind so that I basically take myself far away from what I'm about to do, so that when I get there to do what I'm going to do, I'm fully engrossed in it.
Okay, okay. I feel that. I feel that. So let me ask you this: have you ever had a backup plan? Say that if there's an event and somebody is looking to hire you and you're not able to make it, do you always have a plan B set up for yourself so that way the other people won't feel like they're getting bullshit if you will?
Uh, I would say there's never a backup plan, because by backup plan, more than likely you mean like if you can't make it, having another DJ or something like that. But the reason I never prepare for that is because there's no option. Like if I told you I'm a DJ, I got a DJ. Like what I mean. I can't even tell you how many times I done got booked um, by somebody that's like, yeah, we had a DJ, the DJ fell through, the DJ couldn't make it, they had this going on, or whatever's going on, and from my experience, when those DJs miss their event, I become the go-to DJ for that person at that point. So like you gotta take opportunities when you get it. If you miss that opportunity, somebody else is gonna grab it.
Okay, okay.
Plus, I mean, yo, like the most important thing is respect, man. You taking somebody money, respect. Like you can't mess up their event. You gotta, if you say you was gonna play a certain type of music, you gotta play that type of music. If you say you're gonna be there at a certain time, you gotta be there at that time.
Okay. Okay. Now, have you ever been in a situation where, as a DJ, you've been booked in the same day and knowing you got a host of other gigs already set up on the side already? Has that ever been too much for you?
Nah, normally what I do, like, and I explain to people that's why the price is the price. Like somebody might be like, yo, I only need you to DJ for an hour or 2 hours. Like, yeah, well, the price is the price because when I take your booking on, it's gonna stop me from going to the next booking. Therefore, I'm not gonna take the next booking. Now, unless I can make it make sense. If let's say there's like a 2 hour window and I know it's only gonna take me 30 minutes to get to the next gig, I know I'm gonna be good on time. The person that I'm DJing for first just has to know, like, look, I have to be out of here at this time, and I just make sure in those instances that I follow the contract to the T.
Okay. Now, now I wanna kind of piggyback a little bit because you spoke about another group of that being Black Bottle Boys. What has kept you so heavily enclosed with those guys and really promoting them as well? Like, what keeps you going with them?
Um, like I said, like just the when you say you're gonna do something, you keep doing it, and the way to rise in the ranks is to respect everybody's things as if it's yours. As you can see, like I got the MP3 wax behind me, and man, I've had so many people say, "Yeah, that's your company," and I'm like, "Nah, it's not my company. It's somebody
Right,
else's company." But I'm gonna go hard for his brand the same way I'm gonna go for my own brand. But at the
right.
same time, his brand goes pretty hard for my brand. So it's a respect thing. Like I show love to MP3 Wax, they show love to me. I show love to the Black Bottle Boys, they show love to me. Like, like whatever you're gonna be a part of, be a part of it. You can't
Okay,
half-ass anything.
okay. Now let me ask you this, man, because you've had the pleasure of traveling all over the world and being at most of these hip hop events, BET Awards, things of that nature, man. So I gotta ask you, man, like being able to be in that space, being able to be in that area, that vicinity, if you will, what is your mind going through at that in those moments where you're able to be on these platforms, being able to be in these type of situations where it's like, yo, like I know who DJ Wade Banner is. Like, what is that like for you?
It really ain't nothing. It's easy. Like, I treat every event the exact same. So it don't matter if it's a concert, I'm gonna treat it the same way I'm gonna do when I'm in the club. Like, like I just go and I try to do the best job I can do for the people because that's what it's all about. Like just making sure everybody have a good time. And like at times I don't even realize the things that I've done until sometimes years later. Like it takes years for me to say, man, you know what? I've been at the BET Awards 4 years, or like, recently I had a friend say, yo, you ever did a concert? I'm like, ever did a concert? I do them all the time. I've done
Right.
every concert. And I'm like, yo, you know what? I did the Dreamville Festival, like the inaugural Dreamville Festival. But it takes like somebody asking me that question for me to even realize that that's what I've done.
Okay. Okay. So I'm glad you brought it up because that being saying Dream Fest, one of the biggest festivals there is, saying in North Carolina. How do you feel about Dream Fest? Do you feel like it's everything that it's supposed to be, or do you feel like there are some things that needs to be added or that needs to be taken out? Like, how do you feel about
So
that?
I ain't even gonna lie to you. This is where my ego kind of came in. Uh, with the Dreamville Festival, I was very appreciative to have gotten the opportunity to DJ that. Of course, the inaugural, a huge event that brought, I mean, people that I never would have imagined ever seeing in North Carolina. But at
Right.
the same time, like, yo, I really don't know what was going. I missed everybody's performance. I really kicked it by myself because I felt the type of way the entire show. When they did um, the advertisement for it, and they put like who they opening DJs are, like they put basically they mentioned radio station, bro. Like, and I just felt like, man, that was a dope opportunity for me to get some crazy branding. Like that would have been the biggest thing of my life. And it was like I kind of felt the way that it was like I didn't get it. Like
Right.
like they ain't really give me credit for it. They did the title stream, but the title stream started at the end of the set. So it's like, dang, like I didn't get title, I didn't get the DJ Wade Banner announcement. So I think that's part of why, like, you know, I just looked at it like, oh, another day in the office and tuned out everything else. I literally didn't watch anybody's performance at all. It just, I don't know, that was my own arrogance.
Okay, okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, because you know, it is what it
Nah,
is. You know.
absolutely. Look, hey, look, man. Like I said, I'm 100% locked in with all my partners. So, you know, like I'm a ride for my partners. I expect them to do the same thing for me. I just, you know, that's not how the Dreamville Festival situation went. You know, like it was, we gonna come and do this show, but we ain't gonna really get no love. Like, just imagine, you know, being on that flyer. That could have changed my life.
Right,
So, you know, that's the way I look at that.
right, right. Now let me
I
ask you
do
this:
got to shout out my homie Pop in there.
What's
Hood.
good? What's
Yeah,
good?
yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
let me ask you this because, and this is gonna be a two-part question, but when it comes to North Carolina, and you have another, you have a big area like ATL, Atlanta. Do you feel like at some point, you know, before the year, matter of fact, even before this whole entire, you know, entity of the world is over, do you ever feel like North Carolina and Atlanta can coexist and really put together some really dope music together?
Yeah, I think it happens all the time, especially, you know, like if you look at like DJ Eastside, that's Two Chains DJ. Eastside is Carolina. You know what I mean? Like Two Chains is Atlanta. When you come to Atlanta, man, everybody in Atlanta, like Atlanta shows love. It don't matter really where you're from. So like what I've realized about the A is everybody that I know from Durham live in Atlanta. Like we all the community together in Atlanta, and we're accepted by Atlanta. So I mean, it's a dope place. I don't think that there's no divide at all. Like, you know, it's love on both sides. Like the A show love to Carolina, Carolina show love to the A.
Okay, okay. Now, for my two-part question, do you feel like there's an age requirement on being a successful DJ or being a DJ? Period. Like, do you feel like there's an age limit, or do you feel like there's uh a certain time and place for people that wants to get into the DJ business?
Nah, actually, man, I don't think there's an age thing on anything. It don't matter what it is. Like, you can be a child and get money. Like, even like Durham DJ, Double J, or Double J, Double. I don't know. He probably like 8 years younger than me. Well, that boy was 8 years old during my prom. He DJ'd my prom. Like,
Oh shit.
that's how I
Okay.
knew who he was. You know what I mean? Like this kid DJ. So, you know, it's dope to see like where he's at now. But you got somebody that's a kid doing. Then you got like these DJs like Jazzy Jeff and just everybody like
Right. Right.
that's still out here. Kid Capri that's still out here working. And you know they've gotten up in age. Like the thing about DJing is it's just music. Music is timeless. So being a DJ is also timeless.
Right. I agree. I agree. Now, I'm not sure. Now, I'm not sure if you follow this, but I know I've talked to you about this before. This particular topic before, but you know, we've been having all of these different versus battles, man. We've been having so many iconic battles, man. You know, and again, you know, being in this profession, being in this field, being the DJ, being able to being the DJ that plays the majority of these songs, these records, these timeless hits, like. And then you see it come back to fruition. When you see it come face to face, it's like, what is your reaction to when you seeing that, knowing that you're playing the music out there in the clubs, you're out there playing it at weddings and things of that nature? Like, how does that feel for you?
It's always dope. Like, I mean, it's being there from the beginning is probably one of the most amazing feelings in the world. Like, you know, God bless his soul. When Dolph passed, I never met Dolph, but I was just really happy to have had the opportunity to play his music and to say, yo, I got a plaque from Dolph. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, it meant something to me when I got it, but it meant even more when he passed, because it's like, man, he's no longer here with us. But like,
Right.
I'm just glad that, you know, like from heaven he could say, oh yeah, that's one he been in from the start. Like he ain't
Right.
no no fake guy with it. Like, you know what I mean? Same thing, like, you know, I look at artists like Cardi and Megan and Lil Nas, like, and I'm like, yo, these artists is huge. And I'm like, dang, and I played the record, like, I got plaque for Cardi, like, you know, that to me
Yeah.
was dope. Like, dang, because you don't know that that's what's gonna happen when you do it. Like, you just do it because you feel like, nah, you know what, this gonna work.
Right, right. Now, again, I want to kind of again pick back for a second because going back to the battles for a second, you know, when we as the people, you know, we're viewing these iconic, you know, showdowns, you know, and we're seeing, you know, the level of respect coming from both parties. Do you feel like as a DJ and as a person, do you feel like there should always be a respect, or do you feel like with the way society is, it's gonna always be, oh, I'm greater than you, I'm better than you, my song was hotter than you? Like, do you feel like
I
there's a
don't
kind
really
of
think there's no way to really say who's better than who. Because even in a versus battle, like, you know, your hits uh, your hits may have been great for the time period. Maybe they didn't stand the test of time, or you may have like one artist that, you know, touched a certain demographic better than another artist. Like, let's say Fat Joe Ja Rule, right? There's probably a lot of people that's like Ja Rule won because he had the big hits. But yeah, if you from New York and you from the street, like, you like Ja Rule ain't do nothing. You like Fat Joe won. So, you know, like, at the end of the day, everybody win because they get a platform to be able to put themselves on. But it's no way to really compare your career to another person's career. I always quote my favorite Jay-Z line, one of my favorite Jay-Z lines, how you rate music that thugs would nothing relate to it. Because, like, you can't, there's no way to say, like, oh, this person's music is better than this person's, because how do you know? Like, somebody else is going to touch them different.
right, right. Now, I gotta ask this question: do you feel like there are a lot of different artists in your profession, again, you know, that you see that are being slept on, or feel like they're not getting the recognition that they deserve?
I think that we could say that, but um, the thing is that there's so many opportunities. Uh, I don't think that artists are being slept on. They just got to figure out their path. So, you know, if you're on the wrong path, who's going to catch you? You're on the wrong path. You know what I mean? You
Right.
got to figure out how to make it work for you, where your support is, and move from there. But it's really, you know, it's up to the artist. The artist got to figure that part out.
Okay. Okay. Now, another thing I want to kind of touch on, because, you know, you've been known to make, you know, some really dope, incredible mixes, playlists, and, you know, whenever you're putting together these mixes and playlists, it's like, how do you know as the DJ, like, this is gonna be the sound that really captivates, you know, the world by storm? Like, or do you even get that feeling at all?
Yeah, I'm part of the culture. Like, you know, like, I play all types of music, but of course, I really prefer to stick to my own culture. So, like, you know, when I hear something, I know it's gonna work or not work based on, uh, you know, I'm around the people. Like I look at Instagram and, oh, I used to be huge on, like, you know, when I was doing the radio mixes, I go on Snapchat and I see, like, what song is everybody playing in the background, or, you know, like, um, who is everybody using for their captions, and then I'll be like, yeah, okay, this is what's hot right now. And, yo, I'm just a man of the culture. Like, I stick to what's going on outside. And if you're a
Okay.
DJ, you got to be outside.
Okay. So yeah, let me ask you this. So with that being said, who does DJ Wade Bell listen to on a daily basis? Like, who is his main go to artist that he listens to on a daily? Like, if you was to get somebody your phone right now, who would be number one in your playlist right now that you listen to?
Easy, Jay-Z, because he talked that talk. He talked life. Like, you know, like what everybody else talking about, I don't care nothing about it. So I'm not listening to him. Like, Jay talking, he talking life. He talking what's real. Like, he talking about how he missed out on an investment opportunity. And think about how many people missing out on investment opportunities. Like, yeah, nah, it's Jay, 100,000%. Even all his old music, everything he say, is something that when you come back to it and you start, like, you know, analyzing your life, it's like, oh yeah, nah, Jay knew he knew the assignment. He was exactly on point with it.
Okay. Now, now since you now, I'm glad there again. I'm glad you mentioned Jay because going back to the awards for a second, I'm sure you've had, plenty, uh, opportunities to where you could have either you sat across from him, you may have seen him in passing, you may have had the chance to kind of talk to him. Have you and Jay had that interaction yet?
Boy, I've never. I don't. I boy, I ain't never been in the same state as Jay-Z. No, that's a lot because I'm originally from New York, but like nah.
Okay,
We're gonna get there one day.
okay, so let me ask you this. So, seeing as how Jay-Z is one of your top favorites, aside from his work ethic, aside from just who he is as an individual, has he always been, in your eyes, the one that you're like, yo, like, not so much that you have to pattern your life after him, but that's an example that you want to set for yourself and for people that look up to you and that's trying to, be successful, as well.
I'm not really 100% sure. I say that because I was born in '86. Reasonable Doubt dropped in '96. I was 10. I don't think I even heard it at the age of 10. But also, matter of fact, I can tell you I didn't hear it at the age of 10 because I didn't get hip to who he was until Hard Knock Life. So when, the rest of the world pretty much was really getting hip to him. And even back then, I would probably say if I had a choice between like who I really rock with, Jay-Z or the Lox, I'm gonna say the Lox 100,000%. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the Lox. So I won't say that necessarily. I think a lot of things come as you develop into who you're going to be. Like when you become a man, you start to develop and you say, hey, you know what, this person has my values. Because when you're young like that, you don't really know, you don't even really know where you stand exactly yet.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So what do you think is the cutoff limit as far as, not only being a DJ, but knowing that you have pretty much done everything that you know to do within your rights of being a DJ? Like when do you feel like is the perfect, time to be like, okay, look, I didn't went out here, I didn't seen the world, I didn't put in the work, I didn't put in the foundation. When is the perfect time that's, somebody should say, what, it's time to hang it up, move on to something different?
When it's not fun for you no more. So, like, a lot of people ask me like, yo, like, what make you leave the city? I'm like, bro, I've been here forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I did 11 years at WQOK. Like, what am I gonna do in year 12 that I haven't already done? Like, I
Right.
got a chance to be a part of so many different things, like Dreamville Festival, like women's empowerment, like, those things. I can't do those things forever. Like me stepping out of the way gives opportunity for the next person that says, yo, I've always wanted to do this. Now they can do it and they get the experience that, and I can move on about my life and do something that's fun. But yeah, I can just tell you, like, I wasn't having fun anymore. It wasn't, that wasn't what God had for me anymore.
Okay. Now, what do you say to somebody that wants to, in a sense, kind of like myself, for example, but that kind of wants to take your leadership and learn and be mentored by you? What skills and tips can you give them to keep them going?
Um, Shoot, whoever you want to be, like, research them, man. Like, I study people all the time. I eventually, I'm gonna end up doing like the online classes and the YouTube channels and stuff that allows people to be like, oh, okay, yeah, man, I like how he do this and that and this and that. How does he get it done? And I'll explain those things, in more detail and really, just help people out the best that I can. It's hard to do when you're in the middle of doing all of the work, but the internet makes it just a lot easier for people to understand your process and to learn from you and to look at you as a mentor. And I mean, I got a lot of mentors.
Okay.
Really look at
Now,
these guys.
Big fast. Now let me ask you this now, as again, do you ever get any sleep? That's the $1,000,000 question.
All
Do
the
you
time.
ever get any sleep being a
Yeah,
DJ?
yeah, yeah. I sleep twice a day. Like I sleep at night. I sleep during the daytime too. So, but that's because like at this point, like, what's the purpose of me staying up all day? Like, the reason people don't sleep is because there's something that you chasing after that you're not getting. I'm
Right.
getting everything that I want. So, I mean, there's no reason for me to tire myself out anymore. Now,
Okay.
every once in a while, I might have a couple of days like, oh yeah, I gotta jump on the road. I'm doing this, doing that, and it's just the way the scheduling works out. So you're gonna be tired, yeah, in that particular scenario. But nah, when things is working out the way you want it to work out, ain't no reason to miss out on sleep. I'm getting up there in age, man. I want to look young forever.
Most definitely, most definitely. All right, so my last two questions I got for you, bro, is so, again, you've had, at least to me and to others, you've had one hell of a career, you've built for yourself, doing all these great, these great things, being a part of these great, events and organizations and, groups and things of that nature. But when it's all said and done, if you had to pinpoint one thing about your life and your career as a whole that you have truly feel like you've mastered and that you finally have gotten to come to terms with, what would that one thing be?
Um, I would say just being different. You know what I mean? Like everybody has accomplishments. Like people could be like, "Yo, I did this concert, or I went on tour with these people, or whatever." That's all cool. When it's over, it's over. And a lot of times, you don't even get to appreciate the things that you've done until years later. Like I um I never really thought about the impact that the Drive at Five had on radio until way after, when I'm like, dang, you know what? Dang, that's crazy. So to me, like, just being different and saying, oh, I attack radio the way I wanted to do it. I do parties the way I wanted to do it. Like, people that remember when I got started and I was at Stir nightclub, and we used to do the flashing lights and the high energy fist pump music. Like, that wasn't like, this is a time when everybody trapping. Like,
Right.
to be able to do that and people appreciate it, that that means everything to me. It means more than any accolade or award that somebody could give me.
Okay. Okay. And last but certainly not least, when it comes to years of being in the business, for you yourself, how long honestly have you been doing? How long have you been in this business, and how long did it take you to realize that, yo, I know that this is something that I was born and great and destined to do?
So the crazy thing is, like, I learned to DJ in 2012, right?
Okay.
Shoot, my whole life, I've been preparing for this moment my whole life, not knowing it. Like, I was 5 years old, so that's 1991, that I was messing around with the turntable and listening to music and stuff that I didn't realize would impact me later on in life. Like, I didn't have those ideas. I didn't think to become a DJ until I became a DJ. But like, you set yourself up for all of these things through everything that you do in life. I used to rap when I was younger. I was in the band. I played the trumpet. The elementary school I went to, we were required to play strings. So I played
Okay.
the violin back then. Like, all of these things. And then, like, DJing is simply just being a part of the culture. I've been a part of the culture my entire life. So
Wow.
it all plays a part in me being a DJ. It's not like, like, people think like you can just wake up one day and say, all right, you know what, I'm a DJ, and you get started right then. Nah, you started when you were born. You started because you was listening to music. Like, what's hot because you had to be outside for it to experience it. So, like, for me, I've been doing this my entire life. I just didn't know that it was going to be DJing until 2012.
Oh wow. So yeah,
At that
that's
point, I was
that's
already
that's
on the radio. I got on the radio 2008, so I wasn't even a DJ on the radio. I was a personality and found DJing and said, oh, I don't really want to be a personality no more. It's not fun. I like DJing.
Okay, okay. And I feel that because again, when you look at again, when you look at your career and you think about the things that you've done, like I said, you've done so much as already just alone. From like you said, being a personnel to just a DJ, to being a DJ. It's like you was able to get the best of both worlds. But my thing that I want to get from you is when it comes to having to choose between the two, are you more comfortable and more what's the word I'm looking for? Are you more involved with DJing more than you did personnel, or are you more involved with
Yeah,
both?
100%. I mean, now I'm gonna give my all to everything that I do. So when I was a personality, I was a personality. But when I found DJing, then that's when you start having these conversations with the radio station. Like, yeah, I'm not being used to my full potential. Like, y'all got me on here uh, as a radio personality, but like whatever when the opportunity presented itself and I just took advantage of it. Like I've never in my life ever said, "Oh, I want to be on the radio one day." I just so happened to get the job on the radio.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
Like I literally went in there, didn't know the personalities because I didn't listen to radio. Like so, you know what I mean? Like things like that is going to eventually fade, but it allowed me without being on the radio, I never would have had the opportunity to become a DJ. So I would have never stepped into my greatness. So that's why you go hard at everything that you do. But of course, like DJing is the passion. So that's what I'm gonna go hard at is being a DJ. Like, oh, okay, yeah, nah, this right here is something great. Like, I'm gonna do this forever, maybe forever. Forever in my
okay.
mind right now.
Hey,
I'm
you know what?
I
Hey, I'm
might
about to
still
say
be a
nothing wrong
DJ.
with that.
Yeah.
All right. So as we're getting down to the end, my brother, I gotta ask, man, because you yourself, you're not only are you a DJ, but you're a father as well. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And I'm sure that your kids kind of already have an understanding of what dad does. But has there been that moment in time where you're out doing what you're doing? You're out DJing, you're out doing events, you're out doing parties, you're out at the clubs. Do you ever have those moments of time with your kids where you're explaining to them like, yo, like not so much that they have to do what you're doing, but they have the opportunity to do that if they want to do that?
Well, they got the opportunity to do anything in the world that they want to do. But my thing is find your own path, man. What makes you happy? My son, originally, yeah, he wanted to be a DJ, but I asked him questions that made me feel like maybe he doesn't want to be a DJ as much as he thinks he does. And so like I I never forced it on him. I support him in it, but at the same time, like if I can see like, yeah, this ain't your passion, then I'm gonna like let you know, like, yeah, I don't really think that this is really your passion. This is really what you want to do. So now my son, he's playing basketball. He made the basketball team, the only sixth
Okay.
grader on the team, and he loves it. I'm like, this is your passion.
Right.
DJing, you saw your dad do it, so you felt like you wanted to do it. Like,
Right, right, right.
yeah, nah, you do what you love. Chase
Right.
that. You know what I mean? Don't waste your time.
Most definitely, most definitely. But Wade, bro, I definitely, man, you already know how the game go, man. I definitely enjoyed the convo, man. I definitely appreciate you,
Absolutely.
taking the time out to come back through and give us an update, man. But real quickly, what could we be expecting from you? We're right here at the end of the year, so I'm pretty sure you got some things coming up, some things in the works, as we get ready to close out the end of the year. But what do you have in store for the people that we could be on the inspection for?
So it's been a while since I released music. I'm about to release new music soon. So you can be looking for that. And then, right now I'm really enjoying the private event arena. Like, like the money is good. I'm making more than I ever did. And I'm enjoying my life at this point. So, everything that I used to do, like I'm 35 now, so everything used to be about like hustling, like in my 20s, hustling, hustling, hustling. But I ain't doing that no more. Like I'm living and I'm enjoying myself. But like I'm bigger than just DJing. Like I have a DJ business. but now I'm into business. I'm into cryptocurrency, the stock market, on NFTs, like, you know, whatever like business things is going on. Like I'm researching, I'm studying, I'm learning how to do these things, and that's really where I'm at now. Now I'm at the point of building generational wealth for my children, their future children, and stuff like that.
Okay, okay. Well, definitely, you know,
I think I
much,
gave the
much,
world,
much.
I gave myself to the world before, but now it's like, all right, let's do this for the kids now at this point.
Most definitely, most definitely. And again, you know, I'm proud for one to not only have the connection that I have with you and the bond that I have with you, but to be able to, you know, sit back and watch you work has truly been outstanding, and it's been spectacular to watch. You know, so I definitely send you all the nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being one of the greatest DJs of all time. I definitely cannot wait for us to link back up again and, you know, be able to do something together, because I've had a few people that's asked me about it. So we need to go ahead and try to get something in place, get something lined up for the people to get them something good before the end of the year is out. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
Most definitely.
And,
Real quick,
you know,
let people know where they can follow and tap in with you at.
DJ Wade Banner on all social media platforms, and I'm on everything. I got mixes up on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/DJ Wade Banner. The YouTube channel will be coming soon, DJ Wade Banner. So it's just, you know, I keep it real easy for everybody, man.
Most definitely.
DJWadeBanner.com. So yeah, tap in.
Okay, well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my time. We have, once again, you have been now tuned into the latest, hottest, most episodic show on all social media platforms. That is Independent Scene Podcast with George Truly, 123 of Independent Scene. This is the homie DJ Wade Banner. Y'all make sure y'all go follow and stream and tap in with him right now on everything. But with that being said, we look forward to seeing you guys next time on another edition of Independent Scene Podcast. We out, y'all.